On his wedding day, the whole kingdom laughed at Prince Daniel. "Your bride is ugly," they mocked. And truly, when Jane lifted her veil, people gasped in shock. But what if I tell you that that same ugly bride was hiding a beauty so powerful, a secret so dark, and a revenge so dangerous that it would bring the entire royal family to their knees? She did not come for love. She came for justice. And before this story ends, someone will beg, someone will cry, and someone will lose everything.
The royal palace was shining like gold. Everywhere was bright. People were dancing. Drums were beating, bam, bam, bam. But inside the palace, Prince Daniel was not smiling. "Father, I don't want this marriage,"
Good,
Daniel
because I have already
shouted.
chosen for you.
The king frowned. "You must marry her. It is a promise I made long ago." Daniel hissed loudly. "But she is ugly. Everybody is talking about it." Honestly, Daniel was not wrong. The whole kingdom had already given the bride a bad name, the ugly bride. Outside, people were whispering, "Have you seen her face? They said she looks like a witch." "Oh, Prince Daniel is finished." Some people were even laughing openly. Then, the bride arrived. Silence fell like a heavy stone. Jane stepped down from the carriage slowly. She wore a long veil that covered her face. Her dress was simple, not like a royal bride. No heavy gold, no shining crown. People stretched their necks to see her face. "Remove the veil," someone shouted. "Let us see the ugly bride," another mocked. "Oh, people can be wicked." Jane stood still. Her hands were shaking, but not from fear. From something else. Something deeper. Something dangerous. Inside her mind, Jane whispered, "Laugh now, laugh well, because soon, all of you will cry." The wedding began. Prince Daniel did not even look at her. When it was time to say his vow, he spoke coldly. "I, Daniel, take you." Jane. No smile. No love. Nothing. Jane slowly lifted her veil a little. People gasped. "Oh, she is really ugly." Her face had marks, her skin looked rough, her beauty hidden. Daniel turned his face away immediately. "I will never love you," he said quietly to her. Jane smiled. A small, strange smile. And she whispered back softly, "That is good, because I did not come here for love." The wedding ended, but the shame did not end. Instead, it became worse. As Jane walked into the palace, the servants started whispering again. "Oh, see the prince's ugly bride. Oh. Why did the prince agree to this? Maybe she used juju." People and their mouth. Prince Daniel walked fast, not even waiting for Jane. "Follow me," he said coldly. No care. No kindness. Jane followed quietly, step by step, like someone who had no power. But inside her heart, fire. They reached Daniel's chamber. Big room. Soft bed. Gold everywhere. But the air, cold like ice. Daniel turned to her sharply. "Listen to me," he said. "This marriage is just for my father. It means nothing to me." Jane said nothing. Daniel continued, angry. "You will stay here, but you are not my wife. Do you understand?" "Oh, wickedness." Jane looked up slowly. Then she said in a calm voice, "That is fine, Your Highness." Daniel frowned. He expected her to cry, or beg, or feel pain. But she did not. Something was not right. Later that night, the palace was quiet. Everyone was sleeping. But Jane was awake. She locked the door gently. Then she walked to the mirror. Slowly, very slowly. She touched her face. And began to remove something. A layer, like skin. Another layer. And another. Until a different face appeared. Oh! The ugly bride was gone. Standing in front of the mirror was a beautiful woman. Her skin was smooth like milk. Her eyes were sharp. Her beauty could make kings fight. She smiled. Not a soft smile. A dangerous one. She whispered. Daniel, you think I am ugly. She laughed quietly. Good, keep thinking that way. Then her face became serious. I came to this palace for one reason. She paused. Her eyes turned cold. Revenge. Footsteps suddenly came from outside. Jane quickly wore the fake face again. She sat down like nothing happened. The door opened. It was a maid. My lady, the queen wants to see you tomorrow morning. Jane nodded gently. Tell her I will come. The maid left. Jane looked at the door, then smiled again. The game has started. Morning came fast. The palace was already busy, servants running up and down, guards standing tall, and rumors spreading like fire. Today, the queen would test the ugly bride. Oh! She would disgrace her. Let us watch drama. These people don't rest. Oh. Jane walked quietly behind the maid. Her head was slightly down. Her steps were gentle. To everyone, she still looked like that same ugly bride. But inside, sharp mind, calm heart. They entered the royal hall. Oh! The place was full. Ministers, guards, royal women, even Prince Daniel was there, sitting with a bored face. And then, the queen appeared. Tall. Proud. Eyes like fire. She looked at Jane from head to toe. Silence. Then she smiled, but not a kind smile. My son married you, but I have not accepted you, the queen said coldly. Jane bowed slightly. Your Majesty. The queen clapped her hands once. A servant brought 3 trays. One had raw vegetables. One had dirty clothes. One had books. The queen pointed at them. If you want to stay in this palace, she said, you must prove you are worthy. People leaned forward. Oh, drama don't start. The queen continued. Cook a meal fit for a king. Wash these clothes until they shine like new. And read this book, then explain it to us. Gasps everywhere. Oh! She will fail. She cannot even speak well, look at her. Even Prince Daniel smirked. This will be interesting, he muttered. Jane looked at the trays. Just for a moment, she was quiet. Then she nodded. I will do it. No fear. No shaking. Just calm. Hours passed. People gathered again to watch. First, the food. Jane served the meal. The smell alone filled the hall. Even the king sat up straight. He tasted it. His eyes widened. This is perfect. People murmured in shock. Next, the clothes. The dirty clothes were now clean, bright, almost new. Impossible, someone whispered. Then came the last test. The book. It was big. Heavy. Full of hard words. The queen smirked. Explain what you read. Everyone expected Jane to stammer, to fail, to be embarrassed. Jane lifted her head slowly. Then she spoke. Clear. Calm. Confident. She explained everything, like a teacher. Even the ministers were shocked. Prince Daniel sat up straight now. This, how, he whispered. The hall went silent. The queen's smile disappeared. For the first time. She looked worried. Jane bowed gently. Is that enough, Your Majesty? The queen forced a smile. Yes, for now. But inside, anger. As Jane turned to leave, she passed Daniel. He grabbed her hand slightly. Who are you? He asked in a low voice. Jane looked at him. Then she smiled softly. Just your ugly bride, my prince. And she walked away. That night, the palace was not peaceful. Something had changed. People were no longer laughing loudly. Now they were whispering in fear. That ugly bride, something is not normal about her. How can she cook, clean, and speak like that? Oh, I think she's dangerous. Inside his room, Prince Daniel could not sleep. He kept turning on his bed. Left, right, left again. Who is she? He muttered. That girl, she is not ordinary. Honestly, his heart was confused. For the first time, he was thinking about Jane. Meanwhile, Jane sat quietly in her room. The candlelight danced on the wall. She looked calm, too calm. Then slowly, she stood up, locked the door, and walked to the mirror again. Oh, here we go. She touched her face and removed the fake skin again, layer by layer, until her real beauty appeared. Shining, powerful, untouchable. Jane looked at herself in the mirror. Her eyes became deep, like someone remembering pain. Then she spoke softly. Queen, you don't recognize me, right? Her lips trembled a little. Good, because if you did, you would not be sleeping peacefully tonight. Flashback. Years ago, a young girl stood outside the palace gate. Her clothes were torn, her eyes full of hope. That girl was Jane. Please, help my mother, she begged the guards. My mother is sick, we need medicine. The guards laughed. Go away. This is not a place for beggars. Jane cried. I heard the queen helps people, please let me see her. Inside the palace, the queen sat proudly on her throne. Jane was finally brought before her. Small, weak, crying. Please, save my mother, Jane begged. The queen looked at her, then frowned. Disgusting child, she said. Throw her out. Jane froze. Please, she would die, she cried louder. The queen's voice became cold like ice. Then let her die. The guards dragged Jane out. She fell to the ground, crying, shaking, broken. That night, Jane lost her mother. Back to present. Jane's eyes were filled with tears. But she smiled. A painful, dangerous smile. So you forgot me. She clenched her fist. But I did not forget you. Suddenly. Knock. Knock. Jane quickly wore the fake face again. Who is there? She asked softly. It's me, Daniel's voice came. Jane opened the door slowly. Daniel stood there, looking at her carefully. Not with hate this time, but with confusion. I need to ask you something, he said. Jane nodded. Come in. He entered. Silence filled the room. Daniel stepped closer. Jane, tell me the truth. He looked straight into her eyes. Who are you really? Jane smiled gently. Then she said, do you really want to know? The room became very quiet. You could even hear the candle burning, tick, tick. Prince Daniel stood close to Jane, his eyes fixed on her. Do you really want to know? Jane asked again softly. Daniel swallowed. Yes. Jane stepped closer. Their faces were almost touching now. Daniel's heart started beating fast. Why am I nervous? He thought. Jane looked straight into his eyes. Then she said slowly. If I tell you, your life may never be the same again. Oh. That kind of talk no be small thing oh. Daniel frowned. I am not afraid. Jane smiled a little. Everyone says that until the truth comes. Suddenly, voices were heard outside. Open the door. It was the Queen's guards. Daniel turned quickly. What is happening? The door burst open. Guards rushed in. The Queen wants to see the bride now, one shouted. Jane acted scared immediately. She stepped back like a weak girl. Yes. I am coming, she said softly. This girl can act oh. The guards left. Daniel looked at Jane again. This is not over, he said. Jane nodded gently. I know. As Jane walked out of the room, her face changed. The softness disappeared. Her eyes became cold. Inside the Queen's chamber, the Queen was waiting. Angry. Very angry. Jane entered and bowed. You sent for me, Your Majesty. The Queen stood up slowly. Then, slap. She slapped Jane hard. Jane almost fell. Do not think you are smart, the Queen shouted. You embarrassed me today. Jane held her cheek. But she did not cry. She did not speak. She just looked down quietly. The Queen walked closer. I don't know who you are. Her voice dropped low. But I feel something is wrong with you. Jane slowly lifted her head. Their eyes met. For 1 second. The Queen felt something strange. Fear. Then Jane spoke softly. Your Majesty. I am just trying to be a good wife. Oh, such calmness after slap. This is not normal oh. The Queen stared at her. Then she said. Stay away from my son. Jane smiled a little. That is not your decision anymore. Silence. Heavy silence. The Queen's eyes widened. What did you just say? Jane bowed again. Forgive me, Your Majesty. Then she turned and walked away. As she left the room, she whispered under her breath. Soon, you will remember me. Back in his room, Daniel stood by the window, thinking deeply. This girl. She is hiding something big. He clenched his fist. I must find out the truth. Far away in the dark hallway, Jane stood alone. She looked at the moon. Then smiled. The trap is closing. That night, sleep ran away from Prince Daniel again. This time, it was worse. He kept seeing Jane's face in his mind. Not just her ugly face, but her eyes. Those eyes were not weak. They were sharp, strong, almost scary. Daniel sat up suddenly. This is not normal, he said. How can a village girl speak like that? Stand like that? Look at me like that? Oh. Prince don't they think oh. Meanwhile, Jane was walking alone in the palace garden. The moon was bright. Cool wind was blowing. Everything looked peaceful. But her heart, not peaceful. She sat on a stone bench. Then slowly, she removed her fake face again. Her real beauty shined under the moon. Honestly, if anybody saw her like this, they would faint. She closed her eyes. Memories came back again. Her mother crying. Her small hands begging. The Queen's cold voice. Let her die. Jane's eyes opened quickly. Tears dropped. But she wiped them fast. No, no more tears, she whispered. Only revenge now. Clap. Clap. Someone was clapping behind her. Jane quickly turned. And froze. It was Daniel. He stepped forward slowly. His eyes wide in shock. I knew it, he whispered. Jane stood up fast. Her heart jumped. Did he see everything? Oh. Voila, don't come. Daniel came closer. Who are you? He asked again. His voice was low, but this time, not angry. Curious. Jane stayed quiet for a moment. Then, she did something shocking. She did not wear the fake face back. She looked straight at him. Her real face, shining, beautiful, powerful. Daniel stepped back. Impossible. This is not the same person. Jane smiled slowly. So, you have seen the truth. Daniel shook his head. No, this is a trick, it must be a trick. Jane walked closer. Does it look like a trick? Her voice was calm but strong. Daniel's heart started beating fast. This means, you lied to me, to everyone. Jane nodded. Yes. No fear. No apology. Just truth. Daniel looked at her deeply. Then something strange happened. Instead of anger, he felt something else. Something warm. Something dangerous. You are beautiful, he said without thinking. Oh. See this one, oh. Jane passed. Her eyes changed a little. Then she laughed softly. Don't fall for me, Prince. Her voice became cold again. Because I am not here for love. Daniel frowned. Then why are you here? Jane stepped closer. Very close. Then she whispered. I came to destroy this palace. Daniel froze. Shock all over his face. But, Jane added softly. I don't know yet if you will be my enemy. She paused. Or my biggest mistake. Daniel looked at her like he was seeing her for the first time. Everything had changed. Everything. Far away. From the palace window. The queen was watching. She saw everything. Jane's real face. Her beauty. Her secret. The queen's hand started shaking. No, it cannot be. Her voice trembled. That girl. I remember her. The night became heavy. Like something bad was about to happen. And truly, danger was already moving. Inside her room, the queen was shaking. That face, she whispered. I cannot forget it. Her eyes widened. The little girl, from years ago. She stood up quickly. Guards, she shouted. Men rushed in. Yes, your majesty. The queen's voice became cold and deadly. Bring me the girl. Jane. She paused. Alive or broken? Back in the garden. Daniel was still staring at Jane. His heart was confused. You want to destroy the palace? He asked slowly. Yes, Jane replied. No fear. No shame. Just truth. Daniel ran his hand through his hair. This is madness. Jane smiled. Is it madness, or justice? Daniel looked at her deeply. What did we do to you? Jane's face changed. Her eyes became wet for a second. But she quickly turned away. You don't remember, she said softly. Daniel stepped closer. Then tell me. Before Jane could speak. Footsteps. Many footsteps. Guards surrounded them. Seize her, they shouted. Daniel turned sharply. What is the meaning of this? The captain bowed slightly. Orders from the queen, your highness. Jane did not run. She stood still. Calm. Almost like she was expecting it. The guards grabbed her arms. Daniel stepped forward. Release her. No, your highness, the captain said. We cannot disobey the queen. Jane looked at Daniel. Then she smiled strangely. Don't worry, she whispered. This is just the beginning. They dragged her away. Daniel stood there. Frozen. Confused. Angry. Inside the dark dungeon. Cold. Wet. Scary. Jane was thrown inside. Boom. The door closed. She fell to the ground. For a moment, she stayed still. Then slowly, she started laughing. "Oh, Queen," she whispered. "So you remember me now?" Footsteps echoed. The Queen appeared, standing outside the cell, her eyes full of hate. "So, it is you," the Queen said. Jane stood up slowly, walked closer to the bars, then smiled. "Yes, it is me." The Queen's voice shook with anger. "You came back, after all these years?" Jane nodded. "I told you. I will not forget." The Queen gripped the bars tightly. "You think you can destroy me?" Jane leaned closer, her eyes burning. "I don't think." She paused. "I know." The Queen stepped back slightly. Fear entered her eyes again. "You were just a poor, useless girl," the Queen shouted. Jane's voice became deep. "No. I was a daughter, begging for her mother's life." Silence. Heavy silence. The Queen looked away. Then said coldly, "Your mother was weak. She deserved to die." Jane froze. For 1 second. Her heart broke again. Then, her face changed completely. No more softness. No more pain. Only anger. She held the bars tightly. "I will make you feel that same pain." The Queen smirked. "You are in chains, Jane. You can do nothing." Jane smiled slowly. Are you sure?" Suddenly, a loud sound echoed. Boom. The dungeon door broke open. Smoke filled the place. Guards shouted. "What is happening?" The Queen turned in shock. From the smoke, a voice spoke. "My lady, we are here." Jane smiled. "My people." Smoke filled the dungeon. Guards were coughing. Cough. Cough. "What is this?" The Queen covered her nose. "Protect me," she shouted. Out of the smoke, dark figures appeared. 1, 2, 3. Men dressed in black. Strong. Silent. Dangerous. They bowed their heads. "My lady, we came as you ordered." The Queen's eyes almost jumped out. "My lady," she whispered. She turned slowly to Jane. Jane stood tall now. No fear. No weakness. Like a queen inside a cage. She smiled. "Open it." One of the men broke the lock easily. "Kepier." The cell door opened. Jane stepped out slowly. Gracefully. Powerfully. "Oh, this is no longer the same ugly bride, oh." The Queen stepped back. Who are you?" she shouted. Jane walked closer. Her eyes calm but deadly. "I told you. I am the girl you threw away." The Queen shook her head. "No, that girl was nothing." Jane smiled. Yes. That girl was nothing." She paused. "But this woman." She spread her hand slightly. "Is everything you should fear." The guards tried to attack. Stop her. But Jane's men moved fast. Pow. Bam. In seconds, the guards were on the ground. "Oh. These people no be small." The Queen trembled. "What do you want from me?" Jane stepped closer. Very close. "So soon you are afraid," she whispered. The Queen swallowed. Jane's voice became soft, but sharp. "I want you to feel what I felt." She pointed to her chest. The pain, the loss, the helplessness. The Queen shook her head. "I am the Queen. You cannot touch me." Jane laughed. Power makes people forget. She leaned closer. That they can still fall. Suddenly. Stop. Everyone turned. It was Daniel. He stood at the entrance. Breathing hard. Shock all over his face. He looked at Jane. Then at the men around her. Then at the queen. What is going on here? He shouted. Jane looked at him. For a moment. Her eyes softened. Just a little. Daniel stepped forward. You broke into the dungeon. You attacked the guards. Jane tilted her head. Does it surprise you? Daniel frowned. You said you came to destroy this palace. Jane nodded. Yes. Daniel's voice became deep. Then that means. He paused. You are my enemy. Silence. Heavy silence. Jane looked at him. Something inside her moved. But she pushed it away. She smiled slowly. Maybe. She stepped closer to him. Or maybe I am your truth. Daniel's heart beat fast. He didn't understand why. Jane turned away. Let's go, she told her men. They began to leave. Just like that. Wait. Daniel shouted. Jane stopped. But did not turn. Daniel clenched his fist. If you walk away now. His voice shook. You may never come back. Jane smiled faintly. Still not looking at him. Then she said softly. Prince. She paused. When I come back. Her voice turned cold. This palace will not be the same again. And she walked away into the smoke. Gone. Daniel stood there. Confused. Shaken. Changed. The queen collapsed on the ground. Breathing hard. She came back, she whispered. To finish what she started. The palace was no longer the same. Fear had entered. Servants were whispering in corners. Guards were walking with shaking legs. Even the air felt heavy. Prince Daniel stood alone in the royal hall. Thinking deeply. That girl, he whispered. No, that woman. He remembered her words. When I come back, this palace will not be the same again. Daniel clenched his fist. Who are you really, Jane? Meanwhile, far away from the palace. In a hidden place deep in the forest. A large house stood quietly. Guards everywhere. Strong men. Loyal eyes. Inside. Jane sat on a chair like a queen. No fake face. No hiding. Her real beauty shined. Her presence. Powerful. A man knelt before her. My lady, everything is ready. Jane nodded slowly. Good. Another man spoke. The royal traders have started losing money. And the palace supply is getting low. Jane smiled. Just like I planned. Oh. So this is not just revenge. This is war. Jane stood up. Walk slowly. Then she said. Step 1, weaken them. Step 2, divide them. She paused. Step 3. Her eyes became cold. Bring them to their knees. Her men bowed. Yes, my lady. Back in the palace. The king was shouting. What do you mean our gold shipment is missing? A minister trembled. My lord, the traders were attacked on the road. By who? The king roared. No one knows. The queen sat quietly. But inside, fear was growing. It's her, she thought. Daniel stepped forward. This is not a random attack. The king looked at him. What do you mean? Daniel's voice became serious. This is planned. He paused. Someone is targeting us. The queen suddenly stood up. I know who it is, she shouted. Everyone looked at her. She said slowly, "It is Jane." Silence filled the room. The king frowned. That girl. Daniel's face hardened. She is not just a girl. The queen shook her head. She is dangerous. Daniel looked out the window, his mind racing. Then we must stop her, the king said. Daniel spoke quietly. No. Everyone turned to him. If we rush. He paused. We will lose. The queen stared at him. Then what do you suggest? Daniel's eyes became sharp. We play her game. Far away. Jane stood on a balcony, looking at the kingdom from a distance. She smiled. They have started to feel it. A maid came to her. My lady, the prince has sent a message. Jane turned slowly. A message. The maid nodded. Jane opened it and read. I know this is your doing. Let's stop pretending. Come back and face me. Daniel. Jane smiled. A deep, dangerous smile. Prince Daniel. She whispered. You are finally ready to play. The message stayed in Jane's hand. She read it again, slowly. Come back and face me. Bold. Very bold. Jane smiled. So, Prince Daniel, you are not as weak as I thought. Her men watched her carefully. My lady, it may be a trap, one warned. Jane turned. Of course it is a trap, she said calmly. Then she smiled again. But. She stepped forward. I love traps. Oh. This woman no dey fear at all. Oh. Back in the palace. Daniel stood at the entrance. Waiting. Arms folded. Eyes serious. The wind blew softly. Then. A carriage appeared in the distance. The guards became alert. She is here. The gate opened slowly. Creak. Jane stepped down. This time. No veil. No ugly face. Her beauty hit the palace like thunder. Servants gasped. Oh. Is this the same person? She is too beautiful. What is happening? Even the king stood up in shock. The queen. Her body froze. No, she whispered. Jane walked in like she owned the place. Step by step. Calm. Confident. Untouchable. She stopped in front of Daniel. They looked at each other. Silence. Daniel spoke first. So, this is the real you? Jane nodded. Yes. Daniel walked around her slowly, studying her. You lied to me. Jane tilted her head. You judged me. Oh. That won't enter. Daniel stopped in front of her again. Why did you come back? Jane smiled. You called me. Daniel's jaw tightened. I didn't call you to play games. Jane stepped closer. Everything about me is a game now. The king stepped forward angrily. What is the meaning of this? Jane turned to him calmly. You lost your gold. You lost your trade. She paused. And soon. Her eyes moved to the queen. You may lose more. The queen shouted. Guards! Arrest her. But Daniel raised his hand. Stop. Everyone froze. The queen turned to him. What are you doing? Daniel's voice was calm but firm. If we fight her now. He looked at Jane. We lose everything. The queen trembled with anger. Daniel faced Jane again. What do you want? Jane looked at him deeply. Then she said softly. Justice. The hall became quiet. Daniel frowned. Justice for what? Jane's eyes slowly turned to the queen. Silence. Heavy silence. Then she spoke. Ask your mother. All eyes turned to the queen. The queen stepped back. No, she is lying, she shouted. Jane laughed softly. Am I? Daniel looked between them. Confusion filled his face. Mother, he said slowly. What is she talking about? The queen shook her head. Nothing. She is trying to destroy us. Jane stepped forward. Tell him. The queen shouted. Guards. Enough. Daniel roared. Silence fell again. Daniel's voice dropped. Tell me the truth. He looked at his mother. Or I will believe her. The queen's lips trembled. Her secret was about to break. Jane smiled slowly. The past is knocking.